welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel and Travel Corner, where we keep great radio from the past alive, and today it's legendary WLS Chicago. What a great radio station this was. People in the Midwest loved it. And WLS had so many legendary personalities that worked there over the years. John Records Landecker, Fred Winston, Tommy Edwards, Jeff Davis, and many, many others. But for many WLS fans, there was only one jock that had his name above all the others, and that was the Super Jock, Uncle Lair, yes, the one and only Larry Lujack. Larry Lujack was actually on the air in Seattle, and in 1967, he left KJR Seattle and took over the evening shift at WCFL Chicago, beginning a relationship with the Midwest that would last for decades. Larry was crusty, he was cantankerous, he was ornery, and Chicago loved it. Lujack's actually said to have influenced many current-day radio personalities like Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern. For several years, Larry bounced back and forth between WCFL and WLS. But it was in 1976 when he made WLS his home, and he spent many years waking Chicago until 1987 when he moved to New Mexico. Larry was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 2004, and around 2000 he actually returned to radio in Chicago for a while at WRLL playing oldies. He was one of a kind, and if you've never heard him, here's your opportunity. If you like what you hear, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel too if you like, and after you do, smack that bell, and you will be notified whenever we post anything new. All right, let's go back to the 1970s with Super Jock Larry Lujack on 89 WLS Chicago.
Oh, yes. I want to eat that record for breakfast. Yes, I may do that. I chuckle to myself now as I think of our program director out there listening, weeping and wailing and gnashing his teeth, seething with anger and calling me all sorts of obscenities. But that's a good song. If Not For You by, what's her name? She had a weird name. Olivia Newton-John is her name.
Hi, I'm Hazel, the Baxter's maid. When the Baxters use the lawnmower, they take all the dirt out of the lawn and plaster it on their clothes. That's why I need the Powerhouse detergent, Burst. Burst is the Low Suds powerhouse. It has so much extra strength it might be the next Mr. America. The dirt's so scared of Burst, it runs for the drain. And those Burst whites make lilies look dingy. Remember, Hazel told you, Colgate's Burst is the Low Suds powerhouse.
That was Hazel, everybody's favorite maid. Eisenhower is glutted and sluggish. From Wolf Road to Kedzie, inbound Stevenson is bogged down from Central to Homan. Inbound Ryan is jammed from I-57 and the Calumet to 69th, and again from 33rd to Polk. And no doubt you're better going outbound, so turn around and go back home. Can this marriage be saved? Next hour, WLS, along with the cheap, trashy showbiz report.
WLS yesterday.
Song from 1965, Billy Joe Royal, Down in the Boonies, baby.
Lord have mercy on a boy from down in the boondocks.
From Chicago, the Lyle Dean Report. Red, yellow, and blue paint was spattered over 22 of the 24 classrooms at Carl Von Lynn School at 3200 North Sacramento last night. Vandals also destroyed school records and turned faucets on, causing water damage. A Hong Kong judge this morning ordered James Cotton back to Chicago to face charges of taking women to Vietnam for prostitution. Another session of the Special Panther Grand Jury is set for today, and another appearance of State's Attorney Hanrahan is expected. That's the Chicago Report. I'm Lyle Dean, WLS News.
Here's top news in brief from American Contemporary Radio. I'm Bruce Brown in New York. The so-called spring offensive of the American peace movement in still another phase in Washington this morning. Thousands of demonstrators attempting to carry out their promise to stop the wheels of government by tying up traffic and workers in the Capitol. Scores of police and several ABC correspondents stationed at strategic points in Washington during the rush hour. First, a demonstration is seen by correspondent Joe Templeton on the 14th Street Bridge over the Potomac.
They just used a bit of tear gas here on the Washington side of the 14th Street Bridge. About 50 demonstrators tried to stop traffic here, and it just didn't happen. The police quickly rushed in, pushed them over to the side. Now many of the young people have handkerchiefs around their eyes and noses. A big police van has just pulled up. It holds about 90 people. They're being herded inside. This is Joe Templeton on the 14th Street Bridge.
Police Chief Jerry Wilson of Washington, D.C. says so far there have been more than 2,000 arrests in the anti-war demonstrations this morning. That's ABC News in brief. Bruce Brown reporting for American Contemporary Radio.
The idea, a Ford so well built, it's quieter than some of the world's most expensive cars. The name, LTD, dedicated to the proposition that quiet is one of today's great luxuries. The car comes from Ford. The quiet comes from strength. Take a quiet break in the best-selling luxury car in its class, LTD.
A better idea, whose time is now.
And the time to buy is now at your Ford dealers.
Yo, stop the big ball. Get to know the big ball. Omega 100, Omega 100.
Omega 100 little cigars, 100 millimeters long, filter tip like a cigarette. But what a difference.
Tobacco satisfaction. We know inhaling action.
Omega has a special taste that satisfies without inhaling. Get to know the Big O. Omega 100 little cigars.
Omega 100.
This is Bill Owen in New York for Howard Cosell. Speaking of sports, in the headlines, Red Sox take a pair. Aaron belts his 11th, and the Blackhawks whip the Rangers. I'll have details in a moment.
Well, my antiperspirant works when my boss is in a good mood. And he was in a good mood, about a year ago.
If you're still getting wet, why not start getting tough? With Right Guard antiperspirant, super drying stuff.
For the most effective anti-wetness agent you can get in any aerosol, get Right Guard in the silver can.
Super drying stuff.
Night, Dad. Got a flight. And where are you going? Oh, just out for a bite. Before you leave the castle, fix your hair. There's nothing on it. Sure there is. Gillette Dry Look. But I don't see this Gillette Dry Look. Yeah, that's the idea. Dry Look grooms hair dry. Keeps it natural. But it's not greasy. It won't hold. Sure it will. Just set the Gillette valve for the control you want. I mean, who wants that wet-head look today? Why, you'd have to be batty. Very funny.
The Boston Red Sox, a club that through the years has had a tendency to look tougher on paper than on the field, continues to enjoy the dizzy heights of first place in the American League East. The Bo Sox remaining on top with a Sunday sweep of their doubleheader with the Twins. Ray Culp, who's been a big winner ever since Boston imported him from the National League 3 seasons ago, hurled a masterful two-hitter in the opener yesterday to give the Sox a 1-0 victory. Next, Boston did it with their bats, clipping the Twins 9-8 with a 2-run rally in the bottom of the ninth. The defending world champion Baltimore Orioles won a singleton, so they're now a full game behind the Red Sox. The Birds turning back the suddenly troublesome Kansas City Royals 5-3. Baltimore's margin was a 2-run homer by pitcher Mike Cuellar. The Yankees bombed Milwaukee twice, 2-1 and 5-4. California edged Detroit 4-3. The White Sox downed Washington 3-1. And Western leader Oakland split with Cleveland. First game to the A's 8-5. The second to the Tribes 7-3 in 10 innings. In the National League, the San Francisco Giants are 6 games out in front of the West and winners now of 16 of their last 20 games. The Giants beat Cincinnati yesterday 4-3 in 13 innings. Willie McCovey slamming his second homer of the day in the 13th to win it. Hank Aaron clubbed his 11th of the young season for runner-up Atlanta as the Braves whipped the Dodgers 4-1. The Mets maintained their half-game margin over Pittsburgh in the East, New York beating Houston 6-5 in 10 innings. The Pirates turned back San Diego 5-1, 7 losses in a row now for the Padres. The Cardinals blanked Montreal 1-0, and the Cubs romped over the Phillies 7-1. It'll be Chicago versus Montreal for Hockey Stanley Cup title. The Blackhawks eliminated the New York Rangers Sunday with a 4-2 decision. Bobby Hull drove home a goal early in the final period to break a 2-2 tie. Chico Mackey added the clincher into an empty net in the final 30 seconds after the Rangers had replaced their goalie with a 6th skater in a desperate gamble to even the score. The final round between the Canadiens and Blackhawks opens tomorrow in Chicago. Frank Beard took the New Orleans Open Golf Tournament, a one-stroke victory over rookie Hubie Green. And Buddy Baker won the Rebel 400 stock car race in Darlington, South Carolina. That's it in sports. This is Bill Owen for Howard Cosell, speaking of sports.
Just ahead of the Larry Lujack morning show. Chicagoland weather, sunny and warmer today and tomorrow. 58 should be today's high, 68 tomorrow. The official Chicago temperature is now up to 42 degrees. From the WLS News Bureau, this is Lyle Dean. WLS Chicago. From the big 89, the Larry Lujack Morning Show.
WLS Chicago.
8:04 in the Windy City at WLS with a cheap, trashy showbiz report. And can this marriage be saved in this thrill-a-minute hour?
You'd ever want. She's the kind that like to flaunt.
She's the lady, Tom Jones and Larry Lujack, 8:07 at WLS. No matter what kind of car you're driving, next time you're in your new car dealer service department, look around. You'll probably see some wonderful new testing devices and instruments that weren't even invented 5 or 10 years ago. Constantly improved equipment and service are the mark of a quality new car dealer. And there's something else that marks a quality dealer, too, and that's a bright red and yellow sign in his service department that reads Pennzoil Motor Oil. You see, new car dealers are free to carry any brand of motor oil they want. Their only concern is what brand will keep their customers' cars running best. And that's why they carry and recommend Pennzoil. These experts know that Pennzoil is 100% Pennsylvania oil. The Pennzoil contains its own superb additive, Z7, and the Pennzoil's fine quality never varies in can after beautiful can, year after year. So when you drive into your new car dealer service department and see the Pennzoil sign, you can relax because your car's in the hands of a quality dealer.
Here's a way to feel refreshed anytime, any place.
Refresh your taste. Chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Refresh your taste. For flavor, it's the one. The flavor's fresh and lively too. It cools your mouth, it's great to chew. Refresh your taste. Chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
Yes, there's a lot of fresh, lively flavor packed into Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Chew a stick and see how it cools and freshens your taste. Wrigley Spearmint, you'll like it.
Delicious and long-lasting too. Enjoy it daily, millions do. Refresh your taste. Chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
Traffic this morning is moving spectacularly slow toward the downtown area. Inbound Kennedy crawls into the loop from River Road. Edens creeps toward the junction from Willow. The Ryan has a couple of fresh stalls at 51st and the 47th, both on the local lanes. Ryan is heavy from I-57 and the Cal and jammed from 35th to Polk. The Canal Port escape hatch will save you some time. The South Outer Drive is running sluggishly through Jackson Park due to that earlier smash-up at 61st. CTA buses and choo-choo trains are on time. And if you're coming into the loop and you normally drive through the Michigan Avenue Wacker Drive exit, don't do it this morning. There's a lane reduction and no left turns, and it's a mess, so stay away from Michigan and Wacker.
If you feel that you can't go
Reach out, I'll be there. It's Diana Ross and Larry Lujack in the morning at WLS. It's 8:13.
Catalina, Bobby Brooks, and Puritan. HIS and Kraler at Weebles. Forever Young. Revlon and Yardley. Haynes, Van Heusen at Weebles. Woo!
Yes, scads and gobs of scarves and more scarves. Weebles has them by the beautiful, bountiful hundreds and a 100% pure silk chiffon. They're sheer wardrobe magic for Mother's Day gifting at only $3.50 each. Choose squares and oblongs and let your mother give full play to her fashion imagination. She'll use them to accent necklines, waistlines, hats, whatever, and choose from a whole spectrum of colors and buy lavishly at Weebles' gift-wise price. 100% pure silk chiffon scarves at $3.50.
The name of the brand is the name of the game you really should play at Weeboats. The name of the brand is the name of the game you really should play at Weeboats.
That's just another reason for shopping Weebolts for Mother's Day. They got scarves there in squares and oblongs. I guess that depends on what shape your mother's head is. I don't know.
What a little touch of friendliness can do.
United's friendly 5-across coach is leaving for California, the big coach seat that gives you more room. Take one on your vacation. There may never be a better time to join us in the friendly skies.
When you're friendly, you do things for people.
Like a friendly sky, United Airlines.
United offers roomy 5-across coach seating to both Los Angeles and San Francisco. It's 15 past 8.
Monday weather.
I know that summer is coming because it's going to be a whole bunch warmer today and tomorrow. Plus that, the first wave of deceased alewives came floating into the beach last week. So you know summer's got to be on its way. Sunny and warmer today with a high of 58 today, up to 68 tomorrow. Officially at Midway right now, it's warming up fast. 42 at O'Hare, 43, and in the Chicago Loop with a clear blue sky and bright sunshine, 42 at WLS. Reminding you that there'll be a walk for hunger in Joliet, Illinois. Sunday, this coming Sunday, May 9, rally, dance, concert, fun for all. Friday, May 7th at Inwood Stadium in Joliet, 6:30 p.m. For further information, the number is 834-0390.
Larry Lujack, WLS.
Raisin in the Grass, UMass Aquila at WLS at 8:18.
Now, the cheap, trashy Showbiz Report with Larry Lujack.
Let's go to Hollywood.
Did they really throw eggs and vegetables at Gina Lollobrigida? That's this morning's headline. Residents of actress Gina Lollobrigida's hometown are in an uproar because a magazine reported they didn't like her as a child and pelted her with eggs and tomatoes when she came back to make a movie. Some townspeople threatened slander suits, and others have written angry letters to the nationally circulated magazine. The magazine claimed that Gina Lollobrigida was the target of a barrage of eggs and tomatoes because her father was friendly with German troops occupying the town during World War II. It said the story had given Miss Lollobrigida, our most illustrious and beloved fellow citizen, a bad image. The magazine quoted one resident as saying Gina was a plain little girl, splendid, intelligent eyes, an unripe but remarkable bosom, but nothing else. Miss Lollobrigida said in Rome she would sue the magazine. She said, I couldn't believe my eyes. A lot of wickedness on the lips of my friends, of dear ones, of people I have known for more than 20 years. When they telephoned me indignant about what? Indignant, let's try that again, about the falsification of their words. I was happy, and so is everybody. Moving on to some other showbiz news, folks. Bing Crosby was 67 years old yesterday. For those of you who said the Jory Luloff and Dick Friedman marriage would never last, it's lasted 42 hours so far. They're honeymooning in the Greek islands. John Lennon, age 30, and his 38-year-old wife, Yoko Ono, are vacationing in Spain. And while we're on the subject of rock and roll music here, next time you're near a record store, be sure and check out the Rolling Stones' new album. You don't have to buy the album, just check out the album cover. It's an Andy Warhol-designed jacket. I wish there was some way I could describe it to you, but this is a family station with family entertainment for Mom, Dad, Junior, and Sis, and there's, it's very tough to, well, maybe I could. No, I'd better not. You'd better drop into your record store if you're interested, because ain't no way am I...
WLS.
Me and my arrow, straighter than narrow. Wherever we go, everyone knows.
It's me in my arrow. It's 8:20. Lyle is making me laugh. Lyle is tickling me. You cut that out, Lyle. It's 23 past 8.
Prices start lower at your Ford dealers. But Ford doesn't cut corners when it comes to quality. Consider what's going on right now. Your Ford dealer selling 7 specially equipped models with factory-reduced prices. Reductions of factory prices, even before you start the deal on specially equipped Mustangs, Torinos, Galaxies, and Explorer special pickups. Look for the cars with the red tags. They're the special factory-reduced models. Prices do start lower at your Ford dealers.
Oh, okay. Let's settle down here. Let's get serious for a moment. Listen, stay tuned for Can This Marriage Be Saved coming up in the next half hour. Now, right after the next song, here's a traffic thing. I don't have time to read that now. Listen, traffic is bad. Lyle Dean has details on the upcoming newscast next about John and Martha Mitchell at the Kentucky Derby. WLS.
Da Nang, a South Vietnamese tree says a house was destroyed, but there were no casualties. Time magazine says the Army is considering bringing murder charges against a brigadier general who allegedly killed a half-dozen Vietnamese civilians while taking pot shots at them from a helicopter. The general, now stationed at the Pentagon, is not identified. Northwestern commuters find their fares hiked some 7% beginning this morning. A car blocking the street was apparently the cause for a man to become enraged and shoot the former wife of a Chicago policeman. Mrs. Linda Werner, the 32-year-old mother of 4, died of a gunshot in the chest after a man knocked on her door in Elmwood Park and asked if it was her car that was blocking the street. Last September, a truckload of dynamite hit by a sniper's bullet tore a crater in an interstate highway near Springfield, Missouri. Today, jury selection begins for one of the 3 people charged with the death of the truck driver. Parts of bodies are still turning up in south-central Indiana. Over the weekend, a man's head was found in a field in Johnson County, Indiana. Other parts of a body or bodies have been found during recent weeks in 2 other Indiana counties. Congressman John Weidler of New York says it's nonsensical for members of Congress to complain about the age of J. Edgar Hoover and in the same breath demand an investigation of the FBI by a House committee whose chairman is 83. That all-American couple, John and Martha Mitchell, attended the Kentucky Derby over the weekend, but Mrs. Mitchell wouldn't tell a newsman her choice to win the Derby, saying it's bad luck. But her husband told the newsman Martha bets on all the horses, then pulls out the winning ticket, and says she had it picked all the time. On the WLS Sports Line, the Blackhawks won 4-2, winning the Stanley Cup playoffs from the Rangers. The finals begin with Montreal Tuesday. Both the Cubs and Sox had a good weekend. The Cubs beat Philadelphia 7-1 yesterday. Tonight they play in New York. The White Sox won from Washington yesterday 3-1. They're idle today. The Milwaukee Bucks have cut up the winners portion from the NBA playoffs. The players voted to create 12 full shares worth $17,000 apiece. WLS Chicago weather next.
You know, when you're proud of your work, you do it better. And that's how it is with the 32 AMCO dealers in Chicago suburbs and surrounding towns. They're proud because they're transmission specialists. And here is a friendly warning from them. When the transmission fluid in your car leaks or the transmission jerks when it's shifting gears, there may be something wrong, gang. And if you don't correct it now, you may be in for serious trouble later. So drive into one of the AMCO shops or give them a call. Their 19-point multi-check is free. And if your transmission needs servicing, they can usually arrange to have your car ready in less than a day. For transmission problems, go to an AMCO shop where they're proud of the work they do. And you'll be pleased, too.
When your car's transmission starts to go, take it to the man who's in the know and save yourself some dough. Take it to AAMCO. Take it to AMCO. Our mission is transmissions. Take it to AMCO. Our mission is transmissions.
At AMCO, our mission is transmissions.
Just ahead of the lapping Larry Lujack morning show. Chicagoland weather, sunny and warmer today and tomorrow. The high today should be 58 degrees, warming up to 68 tomorrow. We had a record low temperature in Chicago this morning, 32 degrees at Midway. Record low for this date. The official Chicago temperature is now 42 degrees. It's 43 at O'Hare, 42 at the lakefront. This news, a presentation of AMCO Transmission Shops in Chicagoland. Find out why so many people trust their transmissions to AMCO, and why AMCO has become the world's largest transmission service. From the WLS News Bureau, this is Lyle Dean.
WLS Chicago.
Larry Lujack, 8:35 in Chicago at WLS. I would like to make one thing clear now. That last half hour was just a bad dream. It did not really happen, so I don't want any complaining letters to management. Traffic is still very heavy on the Kennedy, the Edens, and the Calumet. The Calumet crush is mostly due to the closing of one lane in each direction between 103rd and 111th, because they're working on a bridge there or something. The ramp from the Stevenson at Damon Avenue is clogged because of an accident at the top of the ramp. That's the Stevenson at Damon Avenue. The Kennedy refuses to really get going this morning. Inbound, it's heavy from River Road to the Loop. Outbound at Foster Avenue, there's been an accident, and the Edens cannot break loose either. It's crammed from Dempster to the Junction.
Last night, Ed Schmidt, a dairy farmer up near Sauk City, Wisconsin, milked his cows. Today, that milk is in the Hill Farm Dairy. And tomorrow, you'll be able to buy that milk at your Jewel store. If you've ever wondered why our Hill Farm milk tastes better and lasts longer in your refrigerator, the answer is simple. It's because Hill Farm milk is in the carton just one day after it's at the farm. You see, at Hill Farm, we realized long ago that when it comes to milk, you can't improve on nature. So we don't try to. We just try to get it to you faster, so you get it fresher. It's the same with all the fine Hill Farm dairy products sold exclusively at Jewel food stores. They're all as fresh and natural as our milk. Hill Farm milk. Just one short day between the farm and the carton.
Royal Triton SAE 20W50 high-performance racing oil will make a difference in your foreign, super stock, high RPM, or high-output engine. It has exclusive polymers that allow it to maintain viscosity under extreme race conditions. It exceeds the requirements of the 4 major auto manufacturers, so don't just change oil. Change performance with Royal Triton 20W50 high-performance race oil.